The U.S. Supreme Court just ruled that mail-in ballots received after Election Day can be counted in the election. This is absolutely insane. It makes no sense whatsoever. Roberts and Barrett are the two losers who sided with the liberals on this. It's a 5-4 decision. Amy Coney Barrett has been the biggest disappointment I can think of in terms of conservatives being nominated to the Supreme Court. The left fought her every step of the way. We stood beside of her, and then she has just stabbed us in the back over and over and over. It's absolutely insane. I can't believe we're even having this discussion right now. What world does it make sense to count ballots after Election Day?
Yeah, so as you guys heard, the Supreme Court has come down with its ruling that a lot of us, including myself, were expecting to be in our favor. Unfortunately, that is not the case. It is not in our favor. And they have basically ruled that ballots can be counted after Election Day. But all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. So before you get down, all hope isn't lost, okay? And I'll explain why here in a minute, but here's some more coverage on it.
Some breaking news. U.S. Supreme Court, a decision is now in on a challenge led by Republicans to late arriving ballots in elections. Shannon Bream has the ruling. She's got the news and the headline now from the U.S. Supreme Court. Shannon.
All right, guys, this is not a win for Republicans who were challenging this. Mississippi has a state law which allows ballots to be counted, mail-in ballots after Election Day if they come in, they're postmarked, and meet the state requirements. But it is a 5-4 loss for Republicans, and an interesting cobbling together of who wrote on this. Justice Barrett wrote the opinion. Justice Roberts joined her along with Justices Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. So those five stuck together on this. The dissent comes from Justice Alito. Thomas Gorsuch and Kavanaugh join him. And essentially what the majority said is that these federal statutes setting Election Day don't prescribe, or they don't stand in conflict with states that want to say, okay, we have a procedure to count ballots after Election Day. Justice Alito, writing for the dissent, says today's decision is inconsistent with the terms of the Election Day statutes, contemporary election law principles, 2 centuries of historical practice, and the case law on the question presented. So if you're a state out there that counts ballots after Election Day based on your state law, that state law will stand. We wait on more opinions now, guys. More to come.
So, Shannon, that means, for example, in California, where it takes them forever to count ballots, this doesn't help that situation at all, right?
It does not, because basically they're deferring to the states on when they can count those ballots after Election Day. They say the federal statute may set Election Day, but these states that have allowed for procedures outside of that and the way that they collect and how and when they collect those ballots, those state laws are going to be good. Mississippi was the state here, but yes, this will apply to places like California as well.
Shannon, I've learned from you that you go to the dissent first. Have you had time to do that? And if so, what did the justices who disagreed with this rule? What did they find?
Well, yeah. So Justice Alito leads them with Thomas Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. And they just say, Alito says, there's a situation here in which it doesn't comply, he thinks, with our understanding. And remember, during the actual arguments on this case, he said we have Election Day. The word means something like you would say birthday or Independence Day. It's that day. He said things should be consummated by Election Day. That was his argument. So not surprising that he is the one writing the dissent. He was the most vocal during the argument. But he says it just doesn't comport with the law as he understands it. And he's got 3 who agree with him, but you need more than that. So again, it was Justices Barrett and Justices Barrett and Roberts who joined with the 3 liberal justices for this loss for Republicans challenging this Mississippi count.
Got it. Okay, we get more, right?
Yeah, we could get more, right?
Don't go
more
anywhere, Shannon.
Yeah,
right?
More coming.
Stay plugged in. Want to bring
right
in John Yu, former Deputy Assistant AG. Sir, welcome. What do you think of this ruling, hot off the press from the U.S. Supreme Court?
Bill, 2 other lessons I would just add to Shannon. One, this puts a lie to the idea that the Supreme Court is just there rubber stamping the Trump administration. Here, the Trump administration took a loss. And the second thing this puts a lie to is that you've got a 6-justice conservative bloc. Here you saw Justice Barrett and Chief Justice Roberts joining with the 3 liberal justices. One other point I would add, in addition to Shannon's analysis, is that this is not about the constitutional power. If Congress wanted to pass say the SAVE Act, which I know President Trump is pushing for, and wanted to set deadlines about the election is on this day, and you only have this much time to count. Congress could do that. All the court here is saying is that when Congress set the day for elections, it was not passing any kind of rules about when and how you count those ballots. But Congress can do that under the Constitution if it wants to.
John, I wonder if it's sort of like, just for people at home, maybe this is a dumb question, but let's say you have your utility bill and it's due, things are tight, but you make it and and you're sending it in by snail mail and it's postmarked by the due date. Then you're free and clear. There will be no penalty. Is that sort of like this?
Shannon, I'm sorry. Dana, you're exactly right. Yeah, I mean, for the folks at home and for your hypothetical, that's right. You get the ballot in on or before Election Day, you're good. But one other thing, and Shannon emphasized this in her description too, is that this is still up to the states. The Constitution allows each state to decide how it wants. So you could live in a state like the one you were talking about before, where the state could say, we got to get the ballot by Election Day. Those are all, and we're going to count it by Election Day. I think that's what Florida does. That's okay. Or you can live in a state like my own state of California, which says we're going to take 30 days to count. That's okay. Congress can fix that if it wants. The Constitution doesn't prohibit that. But until Congress does, the Supreme Court is saying that's up to each state to decide for itself. That's up, in your hypothetical, to each utility company to decide for you.
So just the other point is, yes, Congress could do that, but also the state legislatures could. So for those who are advocating and wanted the Supreme Court to rule in a different way, they can take that fight to those states and try to pass that in their state legislatures.
Excellent point, Dana, that this is generally how our Constitution is hardwired. Most of the important decisions in life are really supposed to be up to the states. So if you don't like this rule, you can get your state legislature to change it. If you don't like this rule, you can move to, if you don't like it in California and the way we do business, move to Texas, move to Florida, or maybe you like it the other way. But our system depends on competing states and leaving them the discretion on how to decide.
Professor, does it?
Now, the one way to get around all of that is the Save America Act. Now, is that a long shot? Yeah, it most certainly is. It 100% is, even though recently after this ruling, Uncle Trump actually called out several senators by name. Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Tom Tillis, and the likes, Mitch McConnell as well. He called them out by name after this ruling came down in, trying to encourage them to pass the Save America Act. Now, do I expect them to do it? No. I said this the moment that we got rid of some of these rhinos earlier this year. Don't expect any favors going our way for the rest of this year. Don't expect it. Okay? But here is the silver lining, because I know some of you are really, really disappointed and really, really angry, as long with myself, right? Here's what you got to keep in mind. We've won under these conditions before, so we could do it again. Okay? In 2024, when Democrats were still in power, Democrats had had the presidency, and all of this stuff was still available, right? The mail-in ballots, the whole nine. The Save America Act wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a topic of discussion. We still won. Okay? So keep that in mind, even after this terrible decision. We've won under these conditions before. We can do it again. Now, would this have made conditions a whole lot better? Absolutely. Absolutely. Would have been amazing. But we can still win. And the proof is we've already done it. Okay? Don't forget that Uncle Trump is still in office, okay? We did that under these same conditions. So before you just throw up your hands and say, well, I'm giving up. We've done it before and we can do it again. And after this year, come next year, January, Mitch McConnell will be gone. Tom Tillis will be gone. John Cornyn will be gone. Okay? Along with other rhinos who were standing in the way. And so really the only rhino that would be standing in the way still is Lisa Murkowski. That's it. So we can get it done next year for 2028. Is it going to make 2026 or Is it going to make the midterms in 2026 a little more difficult? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. But once again, we've won before under these conditions, so I wouldn't be shocked if we did it again. I would not be shocked, especially with the advent of these far leftists, the Mamdani types taking over the Democrat Party. A lot of the polling that came out was before the Mamdani types took over, and it was already trending in the wrong direction for Democrats. So just imagine what it's looking like right now. Okay, so get out and vote in these midterms. Stay active. All right, stay engaged. We can still win, and we'll pass the Save America. We'll get the Save America Act passed next year. And for John Thune being the pathetic leader that he is, I don't even think I could call him a leader. In 2028, when he's up for re-election in South Dakota, we can vote him out too, along with Lisa Murkowski. Okay? And any other rhinos that may be left over come 2028. So then we're really free and clear for J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio's presidency whenever the next Republican gets in, and we can really enact a true America First agenda the way that, you know, we would have liked under a Trump administration. I still would like to see Trump, have that opportunity, but not going to happen, unfortunately. Not going to happen, but that's okay. That's okay. We're the finish line is in sight. It's in sight. Come 2028, we can get rid of most of the rest of the rhinos, and we're smooth sailing. We're smooth sailing. So stay the course. Stay the course. Don't be discouraged. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.